Hey guys, it's Adrian with the Upholstery Studio, and this week I will be showing you my process on how I make a diamond stitch backrest. This backrest is actually for my friend's boat. I started it a little bit ago and I'm completely redesigning his upholstery from the ground up. Now, I didn't go to school for design by any means, so when I approached my friend's boat to come up with something, I kind of guessed. I pitched my design to my friend and we did a little bit of back and forth and eventually came to the decision to use the design and these specific materials. A trick I learned, you really want to glue down the entire surface of the panel. Make sure you have good contact everywhere. That just helps the material stay in place and really fill out the diamonds. Just make sure to keep your cuts really even and close to the material so there's no chance for the material to rip off or something to snag. Y'all probably don't notice me sweating throughout this whole video, but it is a brisk 90 degrees in my shop, so pay no attention to my giant fat belly while I lift up my shirt and wipe off sweat while singing Sabrina Carpenter. I get asked a lot how I ended up doing upholstery in the first place, and it all started back in 2015 when I joined the Marine Corps. My job was a parachute rigger, so I maintained and fixed all the pilot's flight clothing, which required a good bit of sewing, and that's kind of what piqued my interest in the first place. When I got out of the Marine Corps back in 2020, my dad gifted me this sewing machine, and I started playing around with it and trying to do duffel bags and other little leather items, and from there it just piqued my interest and I loved it. Shortly after, I found a job doing marine canvas and upholstery, and it's gone from there. To draw out these diamonds, I actually use a 2-inch diamond template I got online. You can find whatever you want online. Just be sure to really follow those lines when you're sewing because it can look jank afterwards, and nobody wants that. Now, as I mentioned before, I made this diamond stitch panel just a little bit bigger than what I need. So here I'm actually drawing it out and cutting it down to the exact size that I need. Now, the material I'm using is called Psy Leather. It's a silicone-based marine vinyl, and it is surprisingly durable. It's really hard to draw on and cut, so these white grease pencils that I'm using are the best to use. Here I am cutting out the accent pieces that will be going on the left and the right of the diamond stitch to finish off this main body. Just like I did with the diamond stitch, I am going to be making these a little bit bigger, so after the fact when we sew it all together, we can cut it to the exact size. Just like we did with the diamond stitch, we are going to be gluing these to the 1/4-inch sew foam. And again, you want to make sure every square inch of this material is actually glued down, just so when we go to sew it, it stays nice and still and looks good afterwards. One thing I decided to do with this cushion was to switch the colors of the thread. So on the diamonds, I was going with white thread in hopes of making it pop and stand out a little bit more. And with the rest of the white cushion, I'm using gray thread, again, to make all those little details pop. So what I'm doing here is I'm just switching out the white thread to the gray thread. My camera's autofocus starts going a little bit weird, but as you can see, I'm sewing these accent pieces to the diamond stitch. And when I go to top stitch, I am actually going to sew on the white, so that seam allowance underneath is going to be folded over to the right, so this gray stitching can catch it all and really pop nicely. And here's what you want it to look like. As you can see, the foam really fills out that top stitch, and you can see everything's folded the right direction, and just overall looks really nice. Now that we have the main body all sewn up, I'm going to lay the board on top of it, lining it up, making sure it sits where I want to, so we can then draw a 1/2 inch around the perimeter. That 1/2 inch is going to be our seam allowance. As I mentioned before, this side leather can be tricky to draw on. I'm not doing so great with this pencil, so I just say screw it and use a pen, which is kind of frowned upon, but this is a seam allowance. None of this will be seen at all anyways. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the video was the type of foam I'm using on these materials. The foam that I'm attaching to all these panels is 1/4 inch sew foam. Now again, just like everything else, there's a million different types. Now, when making diamond stitch cushions like this, whatever sew foam you're using, you want to make sure it has a little mesh film over it, otherwise the diamonds won't appear. Take my word for it, if you aren't cleaning up throughout the process of doing upholstery, your shop at the end of the day will look horrendous. For some reason, I keep telling myself I'm going to make sure I do a good job cleaning, and at the end of the project, my shop looks atrocious. Still a work in progress, but you know what? Nobody's perfect. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm cutting out my boxing. I have in my hands the main body, and I'm just going to use that to trace around to see how long the boxing actually needs to be. For this, I'm going to have 2 seams, so all I need to do is just figure out how long half of my main body is. I know better than anybody how annoying it can be to have a certain question and you just can't find it anywhere. Nobody's answering exactly what you need. So please do yourself a favor. If you do have a question or you're curious about something, don't be scared. I don't bite. Leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer. Now that we have the boxing cut out, we're going to go ahead and sew it to the main body. What you see me doing here is I'm making these relief cuts around the corners. All that allows me to do is to stretch the material a little bit better around these tight corners. When you sew around these, make sure you're not sewing over top of the cut. You want to leave about 2 to 3 millimeters away, just so we know that cut isn't going to protrude into the outside of the cushion. When we cut out the material, we added a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So while you're sewing around the perimeter of this, you want to make sure you're sewing in a 1/2 inch, the same amount that you added for the seam allowance. Now you can see that little pin mark on the main body. That is where I'm going to put my seam for my boxing. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew these 2 pieces together and then continue with the rest of the boxing. So this is the last bit of sewing we're going to be doing to this cushion. What we're doing here is we're top stitching, and we're going to top stitch on the boxing. And that's just going to allow the seam allowance to sit a lot better. If we did it the other way, it would be really bunchy in the corners and just look kind of bad. And you really want to make sure you go slow around the corners and really stretch the material, because if you don't, the material will sit kind of funny and then you'll have a bunch of wrinkles and they just don't look great. A lot of the tips that I've told y'all, no one taught me. I had to learn through trial and error. So don't feel discouraged if you're having issues. Just keep on practicing and you'll eventually get there. Because I'm still practicing and I'm still trying to get there. Like I mentioned before, what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting off the seam allowance this little bit extra because it still does have potential to be bunchy. You don't want to cut too close because then the whole cushion can come apart. So leave about 1/8 of an inch and you should be good. This plastic you see me gluing onto this cushion is just simple planer's plastic from Lowe's. And gluing it to the cushion is just going to allow the actual skin to slide on. If there's no plastic on the foam, then the underside of the skin is just going to have too much friction and it's not going to slide on. Before we start stapling up this cushion, we want to knock down this corner of the board. If we don't do that, then we run the risk of the board potentially cutting through the material over time. So we're just going to go ahead and sand this down. I'm using 180 grit. I just got the sandpaper from Lowe's. Now this is where you can really start seeing the cushion come together. The most important thing with stapling is keeping everything even. You can sew as straight as an arrow, but if you don't pull everything evenly, then everything's going to look crooked. So you really want to pay attention to that seam on the boxing and make sure it stays as straight as possible. Once you get it stapled up to your liking, you're going to want to cut off the excess and leave about 1/8 of an inch past the staples. Just like with everything else on this cushion, you want to make sure everything's as straight as possible. And this back panel is no exception. When stapling this, you really want to make sure you pull it nice and tight and there are no wrinkles in it. When you're cutting the material for this, you really want to make sure this line is as straight as possible, more so than anything else, because we are going to be covering this up with Hydem. And if this is really wavy, then you'll be able to see it. This is the Hydem I was talking about that we're going to be using to hide this seam. The way this stuff is made is it's folded in a way to where you can staple in between the folds and you don't see the staples. When going around corners, they can be kind of tricky. Sometimes you have to do what I'm doing here and staple on the outside just to get it to lay really well. Sometimes you may have to cut it, but I think we can get away without having to cut this. And there you have it, a finished diamond stitch cushion. Not too bad if I do say so myself.
Diamonds look cool on camera. You can see like the shadows. You can see like all the shadows.
Because when you lean back, it's going to pull that way.
Now here you see us on my friend's boat. We are going to go ahead and install this cushion, and the way we're going to be installing it is with rod holders. On the actual cushion, we will be screwing in these rod inserts, and you're just going to be able to sit the cushion right in these rod holders and call it a day. Oh shit, you got your...
I did. Almost. That was almost bad.
Look how damn thick this is.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't think this side's that thick. I don't know, it might be.
Fucking see.
If you made it this far in the video, now is as good a time as any to ask you to subscribe. I know with how YouTube is, it's basically beating a dead horse, but how about let's beat this horse just a little bit more. Now, I don't have a bunch of videos out right now, but I am going to continue to show you guys what I'm working on. This stuff does take a little bit of time, so do be patient, but if that's something y'all want to see in the future, why not leave a subscribe? What's the harm? But I seriously think this is a fucking game changer. I don't like putting it around everywhere. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm marking the center of the backrest with a pencil so we can erase it. And I'm going to hold it up centered between these two posts, and Bradley's going to screw it in, and that's essentially it to the install. For reference, here's what the boat looked like before I did anything to it. This was before he bought the boat, and you can see it's not a bad boat, but the cushions don't really help it, and it just looks kind of bland. And here's what the boat looks like after. You can really see the cushions do a lot, and this backrest is a definite upgrade. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and most importantly, so was the owner of the boat.